Hello everyone, FPL Willem here. The Champions League is starting tomorrow, and with that it's about time to show you guys my very first draft. Let's get into it. Now, as you guys can see, I've gone with Dortmund goalkeeper Kobel and with the goalie from Atalanta Carnesci, which I probably pronounced wrongly, but take it how you want it. Now, for the goalkeepers it's often a set and forget as you don't want to waste transfers on them. The important thing is that you don't want both goalkeepers to play on the same day. That when one goalkeeper fails, you have a second chance with the second goalkeeper. Now, this season it's incredibly difficult to find a duo of goalies without an overlapping fixture. And the Dortmund-Atalanta fixture is the best I could find with potential for clean sheets as well. As you can see in the table, the only overlapping fixtures are in game week 7 and 8. Arsenal and Real Madrid aren't the best fixtures for them, but as you can see with Atalanta having Arsenal, Dortmund has Brugge, and with Dortmund having Real Madrid, Atalanta has Celtic. So there's always a decent fixture there. Now, further on, I don't want to spend too much time talking about keepers, so let's get on to the defenders. In the defense, it's important to know that ball recoveries are going to be an important thing in this game, as most of the recoveries will be seen in your defense. 3 recoveries equals 1 point. And if you combine these recoveries with goals or assist threats, you have quite the combo. I've started off with the recovery magnet of last season, which is Kim Jong-un, known as Kim as well from Bayern. He had 8 games with 69 ball recoveries, so that equals probably close to 19 points only in ball recoveries. And next to Kim is an actual midfielder, but the game sees Emre Can as a defender. Now Can actually gets quite the recoveries as well, as he's often played as a defending midfielder, but as a midfielder there is of course more chance for goals and assists. Now Can is actually the penalty taker as well for Dortmund, so I think it's a set in stone, it's a great pick. Next up is Hakimi. As I said, combine recoveries with goal and assist threat and you have a good player in there. Now the only reason to not pick him is the second game against Arsenal away, but even then he plays on the Tuesday, so if he doesn't work out against Arsenal you can still substitute him out for another player you have on the bench. Carvajal from Real Madrid is up next. One of the most annoying defenders to play against, and he can really make your blood boil if you play against him, of course. He has a great attacking arsenal in him and doesn't have the worst ball recovery stats as well. Last but not least in the defense, I've chosen Koundé. It's the Barcelona defender. For the people who played Euro Fantasy Football 2024 know that this guy is an actually ball recovery machine. He also has the occasional assist in him and clean sheets can also be found at Barcelona. So, the midfield. I've decided to go with Goncalves, Foden, Lookman, Yamal and Gil. And I will butcher so many of these names in this Champions League season, but take it as you want it. But for Goncalves, I'll show you guys up in the next slide why I've chosen him. So firstly we move on to Foden. Now with Foden, there isn't really a lot to explain. He is a goal and an assist machine. There's just a bit of doubt if he will play. So if you guys really want to know if I'm going to put him in my team, I will be streaming on deadline day tomorrow. And I hope we can meet each other there to see if I still have Foden in my team. Next up is Lookman. He just returned from an injury and played his first game for Atalanta against Fiorentina and immediately bagged in a goal and an assist. Don't forget that he was also player of the tournament for the Europa League. Now, next up is Lamine Yamal, player from Barca. Not gonna spend too much time about him, everybody knows him. He's the young prodigy, the new Lionel Messi, loads of goals. As I said, plays for Spain, Barcelona, 7.5 million. Feels like it's a set in stone, but maybe you have some different options, but Lamine Yamal, great pick. And the last, and a bit of a fill-in, it's Brahim Gil. Hope I pronounced his name right. Player from Girona with attacking threat, not the greatest, and is easily replaceable with different players, but for now, he's a filler. Now, I promise you guys, Goncalves, and I've shown Gyökeres as well. As you guys can see, both of these stats are insane with 5 games being played. Gyökeres has the bigger goal threat, but Goncalves has some assist in him as well. Now both are great options, but the main difference for me is the 0.5 million and that Gyökeres also fills in a forward spot And with a bit of a spoiler, I already have Mbappé and Haaland in there. So that leaves me with one more forward left. So that's why I've not chosen Goalkeeper but Goalkeeper as my midfielder there. Now, in the attacking department, as I've said, I've gone with Haaland and Mbappé. I'm not going to clarify my choice of Haaland and Mbappé as they've shown so much over the past few seasons, but I will talk about the forward Nene. And by that, I will not only talk about Nene, I will talk about the whole Salzburg attack, as I'm in doubt of which player to pick from. First off, why Salzburg? They have a good goal threat with good fixtures and they are cheap as well. Now, here can you see the stats from Yeo, Nene and Radkov. Radkov plays as a striker, Yeo as a left winger and Nene on the right. Now there's a secret fourth player and that causes a bit of issues with these attackers. The fourth player is Dachim, but in the last league games he didn't start a single one, although he did get a cameo in every single game. Now these statistics are basically equal for them, so try to pick one is basically a toss-up. So if you're not convinced in these 3 or maybe 4 players, the Sporting striker Gyökeres is also still a good pick. Now, to quickly show you guys my formation, in usual fantasy it's important to have players on the bench who play last, so you can sub them in if others don't play well. It's also important to have your captain on the first day, so you spread your chances. So that means if Mbappé doesn't play well, I can switch him to Haaland. If Haaland doesn't play well, I still have Yamal to captain. Now, one of my last topics here, I also want to give some players who are also in my mind for replacing some of my players in my team. Now these players are Salzburg defender Piatkowski, cheap enabler with alright fixtures, just don't expect them to keep a clean sheet, but if they get one, well, happy days. Musiala from Bayern, great player, has lots of threats in him, just not completely convinced by the fixtures, but the great thing about fantasy is that even when Bayern loses, Musiala can still get great points. Third is Wirtz, Florian Wirtz from Leverkusen, decent fixtures and loads of goal potential. And the last one is Cabal from Juventus, cheap Juventus defender, but a bit of a tricky games. Maybe it doesn't look all too great on paper, or it does maybe look great on paper, winnable at least, but I feel like every one of these teams will have at least one goal against Juventus, as PSV just scores a lot of goals, Leipzig does as well, maybe Stuttgart, Lille probably scores goals as well, and Aston Villa away probably scores goals as well. So having clean sheets with this guy, don't expect too much. Now, to end this video off, I just want to say that I will be live tomorrow, an hour before the deadline, to discuss my last changes, and hopefully I will discuss them with you guys. I hope as well that you guys enjoy this video. I put a lot of time in it, especially because there's a camera on me now. Feels a bit weird to make them talking to no one, but hope you guys, as I said, enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video, and have a good one. Bye bye.